He joins us today to inspire us all to get started living our best lives because there is no time like now. Please join me in welcoming Tom Willner.
Are we having a great day today or what? Janira, I am so grateful to have opened and closed today, you and I, in our black dress. Yes, a great time, but have you ever felt like time was running away from you? Well, when I turned 30 years old, life was good. I was young, I felt like I had my whole life ahead of me, all the time in the world. My wife and I were dinks, dual income, no kids. We worked hard, we played hard, we traveled. I had long hair back then. As a musician, I was writing new songs and recording in the studio, and we were even talking about starting a family. We were having the time of our lives. Then, time changed. I found a lump where no man wants to find one. For the first time in my life, I needed surgery to find out if I had cancer. Time seemed to stop. It took nearly a week for me to get the news, to find out the results. It felt like forever. I finally got the call. I had testicular cancer. All that time I thought I had seemed to evaporate. Cancer changed my perspective and taught me two important lessons about time. First, time is our most valuable asset. And how much you think you have can change like that. And second, there is no time like now. In fact, it's the only time we ever have. This moment we're living. And we live each of those moments, whether they're good or bad. The next question we needed to answer was, had my cancer spread? And unfortunately, it looked like mine might have. So guess what? I needed another surgery. But this one was major. In order to get to the lymph nodes in my back, they had to come through the front. And along the way, they might cut a nerve that could make it impossible for my wife and I to have children. My life had changed. I took their advice to go to a fertility clinic and make a few deposits. Story for another time. I never realized how slowly time could crawl. After my surgery, I spent a week in the hospital learning how to eat and how to walk again. All the while waiting to find out if my cancer had spread. You know, sometimes time seems to go by so quickly, and sometimes it is so slow. Have you ever felt this before? Experienced this? Yeah, look, I think every single person here. Yeah. Well, either way, I got the message then that our time is finite. And I vowed in that hospital to never take it for granted again. I got to the end of that week, and I got the news. There was no evidence the cancer had spread. However, my wife and I would no longer be able to conceive children naturally. My life really did change. But it continued. For the first time in my life, I grew a beard. A big old Grizzly Adams beard, and well, after a while, better heads prevailed, and I trimmed it, and And then eventually I shaved it all off, and I cut off my long hair and bleached my short hair blonde.
Oh, no.
My wife liked to say it was kind of cool sleeping with this new guy. Underneath it all, I really was struggling with my masculinity. Also at this time, I was getting regular CT scans and follow-up visits with my doctor, and after a while, they seemed kind of routine. Until one day, I will never forget the words my doctor said. Tom, it appears your cancer has spread to your lungs. He went on to say something about needing lung surgery and then chemotherapy. But the thing I remember most about that day was walking back to my car, bawling on the phone with my wife. No, I'm not kidding. It's back. The next few months were pain, surgery, sickness, struggle. When I got home after my lung surgery, I tried to make light of the situation, and I called it my shark bite and gunshot wounds. Felt more manly. But then it was on to chemo, and losing my hair, going bald, and just being sick. I remember longing for the past before any of this had ever happened, or wishing I could go to the future when my chemo was over with. We do that sometimes, don't we? We wish we were in some other time of our lives other than the one we're in now. Well, eventually, I finished chemo. And I'm happy to report I have been clear ever since. Clear of cancer and clear about time. You know, while I was going through this, I had the crazy idea one day to write a musical about my experience. I'd never written a musical before, but I pulled out my trusty old notebook and I wrote Turning 30 the musical at the top. And I wrote cast member names and song titles, and I just couldn't wait to spend as much time as possible working on this. Time seemed to speed up. And I wasn't sure what I was going to do with it until I got a call from Anne. And Anne asked if I would perform my musical as a class for healthcare workers. And I thought, there is no time like now. So I did it, and it went great. I went on to perform my musical for thousands of healthcare workers. But it didn't end there. I ended up getting the opportunity to do a TED Talk about it, and I've reached over 100,000 more people online. What an amazing time it has been. So remember, time is our most valuable asset, and there is no time like now. I invite each and every one of you to join me starting today to do the things that you love as often as possible with the people you love. I got to do just that at my most recent concert, where I performed a duet with my son. That's right. Not one, not two, but three. And this is my family now. The summer of '99 was my answer to a question. What was the best time I have known? Lunch in Austin, dinner in Boston, oceanfront views, no I couldn't lose. Life came to me so easily back then.
but glory is fleeting. Priority seating only lasts so long. She saw where I was going, all the while knowing exactly where I went wrong. You know there's no time like now. No time like right now. I always seem to be living in the past, wishing my life away. The only thing I could ever hope to have is right now. Thank you.